welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And welcome to the show. Oh boy, we are back. I'm so sorry for an unexpected break, but the day that our Beast highlight episode came out, a tornado destroyed my town.
Yeah, natural disaster forces hiatuses sometimes. Unforeseen circumstances.
I didn't have power for 5 days. It was crazy, but I'm okay. Everything's okay. It was very scary, but we're all fine. And I just want an on pod shout out a couple of members of our Discord. It was so sweet when they heard about my tornado. They made me a custom Weathering the Storm Spotify playlist.
Aww.
And all of the titles like spelled out a nice message for me. And then the back half of the playlist was all like weather related songs. And it was so sweet. So I really appreciate that. But anyway, thanks for being patient. Unfortunately, today's episode is kind of a bummer.
It is indeed. This was not wholly unsurprising, but thoroughly disappointing news that we got during this hiatus.
Yes, I want it to feel like a celebration episode, but it is tinged in so much sadness. Because if you couldn't tell from the title, even though we like never do 2 deep dives in a row, while we were gone, it was announced that Meki, one of our like favorite early 4th gen, I guess you would say, girl groups is disbanded, and they hadn't put out anything in more than 900 days since the last time they released anything. So like you said, maybe we saw it coming, but I still hate that it came.
Yes, me too. Also, when you started to say 900, I thought you were going to exaggerate by being like, in 900 years. But then you said 900 days, and I had to quickly do the math. But yeah, before their most recent release, which came out like the week of this recording, it had been 3 years since they'd put anything out. And that's so we kind of knew, like, groups that go away for that long, at least girl groups, like no one's in the military, you know, it's not like they'll be back.
Right. Yeah.
And as we have discussed before, I believe, isn't this their 7th year?
I mean, I think that's why because it's 7 years, it's up. So like Fantagio was clearly just like running the contract out.
Yeah, it was just like, done. I know, but okay, I know that there's going to be a space for us to like lament this ending. But choosing to start running out the contract when you still have 3 years left, like I understand putting in less effort in the last year. But when you still have 3, you've only done 4 years so far. Like, what do we do?
Yeah, I know. And I think that the thing is that unfortunately, this is probably like a much more common story in K-pop than people realize. But because we were so attached to this group from debut, I feel like it feels like a personal attack to me, but I'm sure people who like have been K-pop fans longer than us or like tend to like smaller girl groups, like this is a familiar story.
Sure.
And I was just kind of shocked to find out just how I hate to use the word unpopular, but like Weki wasn't like a big huge group, but to me they were superstars. So like this is shocking and I hate it.
Yeah. I feel like I knew that they didn't ever really sell that much. I wasn't that surprised to learn about some of their like statistics because they do come from a smaller company, and I knew that company had other groups they spent more money and time on. So it didn't like totally, and I feel like Wiki Meki never like came up on lists and things like that. Like
But
when
they
people
came up
talked
on
about
our list.
well,
so
yes, but that's what I mean. Like I always knew that we were the only ones who talked about them.
I guess I just didn't want to believe that that was true, but it is. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. I know.
So anyway,
as a fan of Speaka, it's
Right.
it's a tale as old as time.
yes, no, exactly. But because we loved them, I wanted to dedicate a whole episode to like what we did get from Wiki Meki in their short time and like celebrate it, because I still think that it was so great and that they were so talented, and I just like hate that they never broke through, or that Fantagio didn't spend more money on time with them or whatever. But I just wanted to give an episode to our Wiki Meki as we send them off into the sunset.
With a salute.
We're
and
saluting.
a kiss and a heart emoji.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to treat this like a regular old deep dive, even though the dive won't get that deep because, like we said, 7 years and they really only promoted for 4 of them. So it's not our normal deep dives amount of content,
Yeah.
but it's a good amount of love. It's the point.
Yes. It's a deep dive amount of love.
Yes. All right, so let's get into it. Wiki Meki debuted on August 8th, 2017 under Fantagio, as we said. And their name, Wiki Meki, reportedly, it took me a second to wrap my mind around this, but the meaning is supposedly Meki, it refers to the 8 individual girls. They are the me, and they are holding a key that identifies each other.
Key.
And it allows them to meet and create music. We key. So it's a me key and a we key.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, even with that explanation, shouldn't it then be Meki Wiki?
You'd think so.
You know, like
Yes.
of all we've heard some explanations for names.
And this one
doesn't hold as much water as some of the others. I'll just leave it at that.
I agree. But people also did refer to them, at least like Korean fans did refer to them as just we me. So like, you know, you and I, me and we come together, whatever. But pre-debut, they were the I-Teen girls, because that's what Fantagio called their trainee groups. But as you were just saying, more or less, I did find out that people really hate this name.
I-Teen girls or Wiki Meki?
Wiki Meki. Because when I went to Google, okay, what does the name mean? All like the first 10 results were Reddit threads and Twitter threads of people being like, I can't listen to this group. Their name is too stupid. Like that was like people were just like turned off by the name, period. And that was it. And I get it. But at the same time, I don't think I ever thought about it. It was just like, that's what they're called. Like the meaning is dumb, but like the name itself never put me off in any way. Like, I don't know.
I feel like the only agree. It was just like gobbledygook in that sense. Like, yeah, sure, Wiki Meki, whatever. It rolls off the tongue. It's easy to say. I think my only confusion at the beginning was like how the vowels were. Like, was it Weki Meki or whatever? But yeah, I don't know. I also don't know if I've ever. It's probably not true now that I think about it. I was gonna say, I was like, have I ever like just sworn off a group based solely on their name? And I feel like no. Like, what? I've definitely thought some names are dumb, but like to just not listen to a group because you think the name is dumb. I don't know. Y'all missed out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, if I thought that was true, then I would have missed out on all of Drippin's great music.
That's fair. Like that's true.
Can't be judging groups by their names.
Anyway.
Their fan colors are cherry tomato and vibrant yellow. So like
They look
McDonald's
like
colors.
ketchup and mustard. Yeah.
Yes. And then another kooky name, their fan club is Keeling. So a bunch
Okay.
of like international fans were like, okay, so their name is like Killing, like their fans are called Killing, but it's supposed to be key ring to go on the keys.
Oh, key ring.
But when you spell it in Korean, and they always spelled it with
Sure.
an L, like Keeling is
Yeah,
how
yeah,
they
yeah.
spell it on everything. But it's supposed to be key ring.
Okay, that would have been better. I feel like that would have been a really easy fix if you had, I don't know, done even a little bit of research about romanization and like how you're going to spell it in your own branding. But also, I went to a school called Keeling. My junior high was called Keeling. And as soon as you said it, I had like a weird flashback. That's really funny. I never knew that that's what their fan
Yeah, I
name
hadn't
was.
seen it before
Keeling.
either.
I'd never seen that. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, I was a Keeling. I am
Yeah,
a Keeling. I'll be
forever.
that key ring. Yeah.
Forever.
Now I want a little keychain that says like Weki Meki.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be on
My lady.
discount now.
Where? Can I just like Venmo the girls directly?
Yes, I
I'd
think
rather
they'd
do
need
that.
it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Anyway.
some overall notes about Weki Meki. They are one of a couple of groups that were formed after the first season of Produce 101, and IOI, the temporary group formed on Produce 101. Then once they only had a 1-year contract, and so then all of their members went off to do different things. And as we spoke about in our Produce episode where we dove into the controversy of that show, it's kind of the groups that came out of it are like weirdly kind of cursed.
Yeah, I would say not just the groups, but like even the ones who have gone on to do like individual like solo careers. I think everyone has had a variety of struggles.
Yes, because
and,
the people, so our soloists are Chungha and Somi. Chungha was just like barred from
And
music
Kang
for
Daniel.
a while. Oh, I was talking about the girl season only.
Oh, I know. I'm just thinking of Produce in
right.
general.
But in this first season, those are the soloists, and then one girl became an actress, and then the girl groups, Priston, Weki Meki, Gugudan, Daya, and WJSN, and the only group that is still around is WJSN. And you know who hasn't made music in 700 days? WJSN. I'm knocking on things. I like hate that I even said it out loud.
If you heard that in the background, that's what that was.
But like, yeah, IOI was so
Yeah.
popular. And then the companies, like, I feel like that's a thing. This is a whole other discussion, but like the way that most of the Keplers are staying, like, I think everyone is learning that temporary groups are a bad idea and that you should probably just keep the groups together because people like the groups. But anyway, Weki Meki, 2 of the members were in IOI, and then the group happened after the year was up.
Yes. And that will be included in the timeline as we get into
we'll
it.
get to it. But their music, I feel like, is just like very K-pop girl group. And even though they did like try some different sounds, it was really more leaning towards the like fairy schoolgirl girl crush as opposed to like tough girl stuff more likely.
I saw most of their releases described as teen crush or teen girl crush. Like those 3 words kind of always seemed to be in the mix. And as I was listening, because you know what kind of surprised me is that I do in fact own every single release that they've put out. Because I thought that I knew I had at least most of them, but then when I went to go start listening on shuffle, like when we were putting this together, I was like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, look at me. I'm such a good fan. I do have everything. But as I was listening through everything, I kept finding myself thinking like, this is just so classic K-pop, like whether the song felt kind of A-Pink or like this song felt kind of Red Velvet or like, I don't know, I felt like I could hear the general K-pop conventions of what
Mm-hmm.
makes good girl group music throughout all of their discography. So I do agree that they have like their title tracks kind of went all over the place. And we're going to talk about that when we go through their whole chronology, because I have like thoughts
Thoughts?
about the choices of title tracks. But in general, like when you just put all their music on shuffle, it's just like, here's a great snapshot of what quality girl group K-pop is.
Yeah,
Teen girl group K-pop is.
I agree. And I also felt like when I was watching all of the music videos in a row, I felt like they were usually dressed like kind of maturely, like not too sexy and too grown up, because they were very much teens. But like something about the like structure of their outfits and wearing like A-line skirts and like heels and like well structured outfits with like little crops or whatever, that they always just looked like slightly grown up, but not in a like icky, too sexy for their age kind of way.
No, more in a like very polished, put together way. Like they always, because I feel like their outfits, even when they weren't specifically school uniform concepts, they always had sort of a uniform vibe to the way that they were dressed together and the way that the outfits coordinated. That to me, it feels like a, like a CW, like Gossip Girl version of teenagers, where it's that like hyper reality of like, these aren't real teens, these are Disney Channel teens, or like,
Right.
these aren't real teens,
Their
they're
outfits are
CW
better.
teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're a fantasy.
Yeah. And then the last overall note, and I think a really important note about Weki Meki, is that their choreography was incredible always.
Yes.
Always, always, always.
That
so
is what grabbed us.
synchronized, so interesting. Like I couldn't find any information about who Fantagio's choreographer is, but the fact that if I made a list of my favorite dance practices ever, that so many of them would be Weki Meki and Astro dance practices tells me that whoever is doing the dance at Fantagio knows what they're doing.
Yeah, because they like, and I think this is what we also always like, what always grabbed us about Astro's choreography, but Weki Meki's always it's so satisfying to watch.
Yes.
Like it's so clean. It's so precise. There's so many, like it just fits together so well. It's like watching a well-oiled machine like do, like those machines that like there's a name for it, but like, oh, the like ball rolls to this that sets off this and sets off something else. Like,
Yes.
those, that's what it feels
The
like.
name is not coming to me right now,
but it
I
like
know what
all
those are
falls
called.
together.
Yes.
That's what it's like. That
Yes.
same kind of like, yes.
I totally agree. But my only complaint is that I noticed that like none of their music videos showcase the choreo properly ever.
Yeah, they do have like some, it's interesting too, because they do have a lot of choreography in their music videos, but the way that it cuts around,
The cutting
I feel
is
like
constant in their music videos,
and you
into like
end up
member close-ups and like
missing and you end up missing some of the bigger moves or the like more impressive formations. And so then it ends up just being like, wait, what was that? How did they get from there to there? And you kind of miss the better stuff, but
the dance practices are all there and they're all
incredible work.
So some random things that I found on a Korean fan wiki, just because I like to see what fans, note as what's special about groups. And one thing was that none of the members have birthdays in the same month. So they never have to share a birthday month. And there's somebody's birthday every month from July to December. So the fans like it because they got to like celebrate everyone without any overlap. And that there was always a constant like birthday celebration for the whole back half of the year.
Adorable.
And the wiki said, quote, that Weki Meki is famous for the best friendship pictures and best B-sides. And I agree with the second part because I don't know what these pictures are, but yes, their B-sides are incredible.
Yeah, agreed. I ditto. I don't know what they're referring to with the friendship pictures, but the B-sides, 100%.
Overall stats about Weki Meki: they released 5 EPs, 2 single albums, 1 repack, and 1 collab, and 6 OSTs. They got 16 award nominations and won 3 major awards, but they had 0 music show wins.
Womp
Sad.
Yeah,
I hated seeing that. It
I know.
devastated me.
I know. I was like bummed that not even Cool got them with something, but it's a lot of competition
I know.
it's a lot of competition
It's
all
true.
the time. It really is. All right. So at this point in our deep dive, we are now going to introduce each of the members in age order, descending age order, oldest
Yeah.
to youngest, and then we'll dive into their timeline. So starting with the oldest and our leader, we have Ji Soo-yeon. She's our leader and main vocal, born April 20th, 1997 in Goyang, South Korea. We always try to describe what these members look like to you so you can create a little mental picture. And I will say that usually we like struggle to describe girl group members, but Weki Meki, I think I like learned the members really quickly
Yeah.
when we got into them. I think all of their faces are super unique.
Yeah.
Not just to each other. Like I don't think any of them look
they're
similar.
I don't think you
They
can
all
confuse
look,
them.
yeah,
They
you
all look
can't
so
confuse
different.
any of them. But I also think that they're they don't remind me of anyone else except for Sooyeon.
Yes.
And Sooyoung we have referred to as Girl Coops. If you know S Coops from 17, we think that there's like a quality to their smiles.
And their eye placement, it's like
yeah.
she just is the girl version of him. They have super similar faces. They just
Yes.
do.
They just do. She's got big round eyes and a small mouth, but she has big teeth. And like, I feel like I'm looking at a picture of her doing a little like kissy face, and it just is.
It's
It just is Coops. It just is. So that's the best way I can describe.
Sorry.
She also just has like a generally like long oval face. All of the members have an emoji, and Sooyeon's emoji is a cloud. She has competed on Masked Singer and a show called V1, where she sang Jonghyun's version of Y Si Fuera Ella. She has an incredible voice. If that didn't imply already that she was an incredible singer, she's an incredible singer. She has writing credits on 5 Weki Meki songs and 1 song for a group called Niziu. Is that how you say that name?
I think so.
Okay, Niziu. She has a secret talent, which is that she's insanely good at math. And weirdly, that doesn't surprise me. I don't know why, but she strikes me as someone who, she seems like she would be good at math.
Yeah, when
also
they were
because I feel like she has kind of like Moonbyul energy to me. And Moonbyul strikes me as somebody who would be good at math. I don't know if that's true, but maybe she just seems like she has a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah, that's just a thing that when they were first debuted and like going around on all the shows, and they were like, do any of you have secret talents? They would do like calculator races with her where like someone would have a calculator and just start like adding random numbers. And in her head, she always like beat the calculator. I don't know.
Wow.
She's like a math freak. So there you go.
Good for her.
Next up in line, we have Ellie. And Ellie is the lead vocal of Weki Meki. Her birthday is July 20th, 1998, and she was born in Gunpo, South Korea. And she has single eyelids and her eyes are kind of closer together and like very straight eyebrows. And then her ears like really stick out like forward, sticky out ears. And her emoji is a fox. And I'm guessing it's because maybe she has like fox energy. Like if you look at her face, like the way that her eyes slant, maybe she's like giving fox.
Yeah, especially when she smiles because she has very full cheeks. And I feel like she usually had reddish hair.
She's one who's like gotten some fun hair. She's the one who has turquoise hair in that one
Okay, okay.
comeback.
She's had a lot. Okay, maybe I'm just like, oh yeah, she did have turquoise hair here. Rarely does she have bangs.
That's true. She's done a little bit of acting with some small roles in web dramas, and she was recently on Queendom Puzzle, and she ultimately came in 11th place, so just shy of making it into Elzup. But I watched Queendom Puzzle. You can listen to my recaps on Patreon if you want, and I rooted for her so hard the whole time because she was the only Wiki Meki on there. Like most people came with a couple of their group members, and like she
Yeah.
was alone, and I just like wanted her to stay because I love Wiki Meki. And she did. She hung in all the way to the end, and I was proud of her.
Nice. Well done, Ellie. Well done. Next up, we have Chae Yu-jung. She is the main rapper, main dancer, and face of the group, born November 12th, 1999 in Guri, South Korea. She is the smallest by quite a bit. Like, Yu-jung is tiny.
She's just little.
She's just so small. And especially when she's next, like Doyeon is so tall, and like there's just like a whole foot in between them, I think. Like it's
Probably.
wild. But anyway, she has the tiny doll face, very big lips, and a cute nose, and she usually has bangs. She's also easy to identify because she is the main rapper.
Yes.
So she'll always be the one getting the like main verse. Her emoji is a sunflower, and Yu-jung was on Produce 101. She ranked third and was in IOI. She wrote her own raps for 5 different Wiki Meki songs, and she debuted solo in 2022 with the album Sunflower, named after her emoji.
Yeah, there you go. Next up in line is Kim Do-yeon, and she is the visual of Wiki Meki. Angelica's raising her hands right now.
She's such a visual. She's just the visual,
Yes,
period. Her face is incredible.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Her birthday is December 4th, 1999, and she was born in Wonju, South Korea. And the only way I could find to describe her is that she's just like a tall supermodel. Like,
Yeah.
she just is, the tallest member. She just like looks like a supermodel, usually has like freaking long, gorgeous hair. She has really prominent lip corners, and she doesn't really smile in pictures. Like she smiles a lot in like videos and stuff, but like a lot of the pictures of her are like very serious model. Like, I don't know. She just has like model energy.
Because she has a really good pout. Because she has like such a big mouth. And she honestly has kind of like wide features in general. Like I feel like she's just very striking. Like when you look at a group picture, I feel like she does grab the eyes no matter what color her hair is. Even though her hair is almost always in the same style. Like long side part, no bangs. Because you got to see that gorgeous face.
Swoop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do-yeon's emoji is a snowflake, and she ranked 8th on Produce 101 and was in IOI. And she's done 10 different K-dramas so far, so she will probably like keep on acting after this, I would assume.
She just got cast in a movie, her first movie.
Okay, great. And I saw a Soompi article that claimed one of her English names is Sharpay, and I laughed so hard at that because like that's not a real name. That's a type of dog, and it was a joke that was the girl's name in High School Musical, and it just like seems very funny like to picture her like, I don't know, watching High School Musical when she was 7 and being like, I want that to be my name. Like, I don't know. It's very funny to me. And also, I didn't write it down, but like earlier this year, she had dating rumors with Gongmyung, and like they got shut down really fast. But I always think if dating rumors make it to the real news, then there has to be truth to them. And I was like, yes, let's go. Like 2 incredibly beautiful people. Let's make that happen.
That couple would be like almost too much beauty in one. It would the power. Incredible. All right, next up we have Sei. This is romanized SEI. She is our vocalist, born January 7th, 2000 in Ansan, South Korea. Sei has a very long oval face, where I think Sooyeon has like a long face. She has a very like pointed corner and chin, excuse me. Say's face is like very rounded but long and oval. And she always has bangs. Sometimes it's pretty heavy, and then like even when she had kind of like lighter curlier hair, she still has the bangs. And she has a little bit of bunny teeth and has kind of like elfish energy. She has like big round eyes, but there's something very delicate about her features that is very like porcelain bunny
Yes.
energy, like porcelain bunny
And
doll.
I wrote elfish just because I don't know, there's just like that bright magic elf bit about her, but also I noticed you don't see them that often, but if her hair is pulled back, her ears are kind of like flat on the back in like a interesting way. And she does
There you
usually
go.
when she gets like close-ups and things, she gives like little delicate winkies. She's kind of a winky one.
Yeah. So her emoji is the little, what do you call this? The
It's a
little grass sprout?
Its name
Oh,
is
okay.
Sprout, I believe. Or
Adorable.
Seedling is its like it's like code name, but I think it's a Sprout.
Cute. Say plays the guitar, and she starred in the drama The Tale of Chunyang in 2021.
Next up in line, we have Lua, who is a vocalist and a rapper in Weki Meki. Her birthday is October 6th, 2000, and she was born in Seoul. And Lua has like very unique eyes. Like they're very big and they're single lidded, but they're almost kind of like, I don't want to say that they're buggy, but they're like off of her face and not like set in super a lot. I don't know. And they're kind of different shapes. Like one has like a longer lid than the other. They're just like very, I don't know.
She
Notice her eyes.
she comes across almost a little bit cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I don't think she is cross-eyed, but I do think it's because her eyes are slightly more like noticeably asymmetrical. But yeah, I agree. She has very distinctive eyes.
And her mouth is very, very wide, and her lip corners kind of turned down a little bit. And she also cut her hair super short in 2020 and then just kept it like that. So, like,
Yeah.
that's another way to, like, notice her. Her emoji is the little rainbow arch. And her hidden talent is that she's freaky flexible, like, can climb through
bones.
her arms and, like, do scary exorcist backbends and stuff like that. And I also read that she's like obsessed with Michael Jackson, and that is like a huge part of her personality, is that she is always talking about Michael Jackson. So there's
All right.
Lua for you.
Then we have Rina. She is a dancer, vocalist, and rapper for Weki Meki, born September 27th, 2001 in Seoul. Rina has a very, very serious face, even more so than Doyeon, where like Doyeon has like a supermodel face. Rina is like intimidatingly serious. She almost never smiles or moves her face very much at all. Like she just gives that serious like stone face at you. But her face is very wide with her eyes tilting kind of slightly upward. And I do agree with this note you wrote that she looks kind of like Solar, because Solar also has like a wide face, I think.
Yes.
But where Solar has like very noticeable dimples because she's smiling all the time, Rina never smiles.
No.
Let's see. Sorry, I was looking at a picture of her, so now I have to like
okay.
come back in. Her emoji is the little unicorn, and she was in a dance group called Nye Dance or NY Dance before debut. And Rina is the quietest and shyest member. So I think that in the way that like Dio sometimes gets characterized as being like mean or standoffish because he is the quietest, I would say that Rina has the same reputation. Like she comes across as kind of mean or cold, but she's just very quiet.
Yeah. And then last but not least, we have our maknae, Lucy. And her birthday is August 31st, 2002. And she was born in Goyang, South Korea. And she's the second tallest. She's just a little bit shorter than Doyeon. And she has that thin, slopey nose that people pay good money for. and like a very V-shaped chin. Like I honestly think she is the kind of person that people take a picture of her to their plastic surgeon and they say, I want this face. Like she has
Yes.
like that ideal, quote unquote, like ideal face.
Yeah, I think that if Doyeon was not in this group, Lucy would be the face. Because just like you said, like she has, and then no matter like what hair color she has, she like when she's blonde, she looks like a Barbie doll. It's crazy. Her face is stunning.
It's great.
Great face.
Her emoji is the crescent moon. And she did a duet called Like Today with Astro's MJ on an album that we'll talk about later, but she wrote her own part on that song and she was only 16 at the time, so that felt like, worth noting.
Nice.
And she walked the runway at Seoul Fashion Week in 2018, so it's possible that more modeling could be in her future.
Absolutely.
So those are our 8 members.
We love you, ladies. You captured us right away, literally from the beginning. And I think within like a week of your debut, we knew every single one of you. So near and dear to our hearts, these women. Okay, so now in our deep dive format, which for the very first time we didn't preview up at the top because we were so, overwhelmed with grief over the reality of having to do this episode.
I know.
Anyway, now we're going to get into their timeline. So starting with pre-debut. The members, I think, as you mentioned up top, did start as trainees under the Rookie Talent Development Program called Fantagio I-Teen, and they were known as the I-Teen Girls. So as members of the I-Teen Girls, Doyeon, Yoojung, Lua, Lucy, and Ellie all popped up multiple times in Astro's pre-debut web drama, which was called To Be Continued. So they have lots of cameos in that. They're label mates. And then several of the members also participated in Produce 101. So Ellie as Jung Haerim, Yoojung, Doyeon, and Se as Lee So-jung, who was actually under a different company at the time. They all participated in Produce 101, the very first season. Yoojung and Doyeon, as we mentioned, did make the final 11, and they debuted in IOI on May 4th, 2016, which they promoted with until 2017, like right at the beginning. IOI was only around for a year. Other names that were considered. So I find it very interesting that like the name, it's just funny to me that this name was like so controversial because to be honest, like it is the best of all of these options. These are trash options, y'all. I can't even believe that anyway, here they are. Girls Assault Team.
Don't like that.
Artista.
Weird.
Fine. Chloe.
So this one I was trying to figure out what they meant because
what is this?
means child.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of groups like G Idol, like the IE, it's like child and you put doll. So it's a cute pun of like idol and child. But I don't know what the clo is supposed to stand for because it's not a word by itself. I don't know what it was the start of. Same with this next one. Like, I'm not sure what kind of portmanteau they were supposed to be making, but just to note, the IE part means like child. So,
okay. So knowing that it means child, our last one is Ai Nana.
Ai Nana.
Ai Nana. Ai Nana. I don't know. What? Okay. Anyway, Weki Meki, of those, I guess Weki Meki's the best. Maybe Artista would have been better, but
they're all still pretty silly.
They're all bad. Anyway, Fantagio announced the name of their new girl group, Weki Meki, on July 6th, 2017. So this would have been several months after Doyeon and Yoojung returned and have like officially moved on from IOI.
Correct. So that brings us to debut day, August 8th, 2017. Their debut EP is called Weemy, and the single is I Don't Like Your Girlfriend. So This song was written by Im Kwang-uk, Ryan Kim, Chase, Amanda Mosley, and Divine Channel with lyrics by Sol Ji-eum. And the album peaked at number 7 on the Gaon album chart and sold 49,000 copies, which was the highest selling physical sales of a debut girl group that year. So that's something.
Okay, so started strong.
And the music video is a mostly choreo-focused music video and like close-ups of members and choreography. And they either are dancing in front of like a big wall on like a basketball court or in front of lockers or like a big plain white room. Super, super bright colors. And like many of their music videos, the shot changes very, very, very often. Like it's not on the same thing for like more than a couple of frames. So it's like a little chaotic.
Yes.
But the styling was very like fun and sporty, like wearing basketball jerseys as like dresses or like little Adidas tennis outfits and like more or less Molly clothes, but in super loud patterns, like very loud pants and shirts, like in these very crazy patterns. The lyrics to the song are about a girl who is very mad at a boy that she's close with for how he acts around his girlfriend. And she insists that she's not jealous, but I'm not convinced. The lyrics
Yeah.
the lyrics say, "I hate you more than her. It feels like you've been stolen from me. You only knew me and only listened to me. I don't have any secrets from you. What if I had a boy that was closer than you? Then you'd probably feel the same." So they don't like this because they're clearly in love with their friend and need to figure it out. And just a personal note, this is one of my favorite dance practice videos of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. The dance practice is what got us for sure. Because it's so good. The choreography for this is so dynamic. When they get on the floor, it's amazing. When they do the slow-mo part, it's so cool. Like, I love watching them dance. Oh, God. Okay. Next up on the timeline, we have January 11th, 2018. They released a special single for the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, and it was called Butterfly. This song was written by Kang Kyung-min, Lee Jae-hak, Faces of Glory, and Jake K. The music video is just the girls recording the song and then holding Olympic mascot toys. And then they kind of like run down this hallway in the studio and like have animations of different Olympic sports on them. They're just being very goofy. The lyrics say, "Don't be afraid, you can do it. Spread out your wiggling wings, fly high above the world." And we talked about this song in our butterfly battle episode 10,000 years ago, because that may have been our very first battle. It's a long time ago now.
Yeah. It might have been. It was either the first or the second time we ever did a battle episode.
It was very early on, for sure.
Wild. Okay, so then just a month later, on February 21st, 2018, they released their second EP entitled Lucky, and the single is La La La. So this song was written by Sol Ji-eum, Hyuk Shin, Royal Dive, and friend of the podcast, Chick.
Which is why it slaps.
And this album actually peaked at 2 on the album chart, which is their highest ranking album in their career. And it sold 34,000 physical copies. The music video is like a box video where they're in some kind of warehousey place and there's big marquee, like light up marquee letters that say la 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 in the back. And then there's like EKG lines, like heart monitor lines, kind of decorating everything. Like that's a motif for some reason. And then there's like group shots in front of a spray painted garage door and like member close-ups in a very like bright striped room.
Yeah, very like plain sets in the sense that there's no like plot or anything happening. They're just like in a setting and dancing.
The styling for this one was like black skirts and vests with like a school uniform vibe. On some music stages, they did indeed wear school uniforms, but in the video, they're more like deconstructed school uniforms,
More
kind
like
of.
school uniforms for the craft.
Yes, it is
If the
very
magic
craft.
was not lethal.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then they also have in one of the scenes, they all have letter jackets with their names on the back. And then
Cute.
there's like a set where they have black, like a mix of black pleather and red plaid outfits that they
Mhm.
also wore on stage.
Yeah. So like very cool girl school uniforms.
Yes. Chokers.
Yeah,
There's like a lot of
chains. And they had
chokers.
a lot of like cowboy boots. I mean, not cowboy
Or
boots,
big
combat
combat
boots.
boots,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Cowboy boots. Wrong vibe entirely.
The lyrics to La 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 is like a frustrated confession song, very like, well, do you like me or what?
Mm.
The lyrics say, they say the person who likes the other person more loses, but I don't really want to win. Let's not think too much with our heads, knowing but pretending not to know. That's too tiring, so just tell me now. So that's what's happening in the song. And then my favorite, weird, like fun, unexplainable. Also, I like have not seen other people bring this up as much as I have thought about it. And I've thought about it so many times. At 13 seconds into this music video, in one of her close-ups, Jung has a tiny fake doll hand in her wrist and she's like using it to like whisper behind it. It's on screen for 2 seconds. It is not acknowledged. I feel like nobody brings it up. It's so random and it makes
And
me
in the
laugh
very
so
next
hard.
in the very next close up, it like she has the tiny hand and then it cuts to another thing and then it cuts back to her close up and she's using her regular hand again. So it's really it's like blink and you miss it.
But I've never missed it. And I remember when the video came out, I was like searching on Twitter, like people have got to be making jokes about this tiny hand. I feel like nobody saw the tiny hand but me. And
That's
I made
really
it.
funny.
It's a custom emoji on our Discord. I don't know if people use it, but like it's the funniest thing in the world to me.
But her legacy shall never be forgotten, not as long as
Right.
we're around.
And I think this final note
Oh
belongs
yeah,
to you.
it is absolutely impossible to pick a favorite Weki Meki choreography, but this is definitely one of my top contenders. I love this one. We also learned it in class, and I just think it's so fun and so cute and so fucking hard.
Yes, it's so hard. I think I said this in
it's
the
so
chick
hard.
episode, but like
Yeah.
this was a moment where I was like, oh, idols can like move their arms faster than regular people. Like,
And just their whole bodies, like when you have to get on the ground and then you get back up on the ground, off the ground, and then you're back on the ground. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Yeah, no one, I feel, just to finish that point, no one has made me feel more like, wow, these idols are truly athletes than watching Weki Meki's choreographies, especially when we first watched I Don't Like Your Girlfriend and we saw their like banged up knees. And I was
my God,
like,
yes.
oh my gosh, these girls go hard. Okay, anyway, October 11th, continuing the history of Weki Meki going so hard. 2018, they released their first single, which is called Kiss Kicks, and the title song is Crush. This song was written and composed by 1010 with a rap by Jung. The album, it was like a single album, peaked at number 5 and sold 22,000 copies. The music video opens with Doyeon walking like slow-mo to a motorcycle, and then it cuts to a big warehouse dance scene, like kind of like the monster warehouse of just like being in like matching bomber jackets and like black and dancing. And the girls throughout the whole music video are just like playing with different weapons in this big open warehouse lair. There are so many guns in this entire music video. It's crazy. But the song itself is very upbeat, as you just heard. I personally feel like the music video doesn't at all match the vibe of the song. And it also really, like, when this came out, I remember us being very like, I mean, we always had something to say. We always had opinions about the Weki Meki releases and like how the titles were picked and such. And I remember this one in particular being like, oh, this feels like a pretty big departure from what Weki Meki always did before. And I realize now, looking at their timeline, they only have like 2 releases really in comparison, but it felt very, very different. Anyway,
I think like this is very interesting song, and it does seem like it is the music video with the most views, and like it was a popular song. And I think it's because it's kind of weird in a like classic K-pop way that feels like people were starting to get away from in 2018. Like it starts with a like, I want to say like an Afro beats style drum in the first verse, which goes away, but like it starts with this like very like heavy drums happening. And then the chorus itself feels like really classic K-pop, like where it has almost those like trot melodies that were like very popular in the first gen. Like it feels really familiar. And then also the sounds being used feel like early second gen, like Tiara kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, there's a lot going on in this song. I ultimately think that it works, but it is very different.
yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And like, because the song is so like, the music video itself is not serious. It does have a ton of weapons, but there is like a slapstick zaniness to, I assume they're planning a heist, although it's not like really explicitly like there's no explicit narrative in the music video. But there's, you know, different silly things where like, I think Doyeon gets like scared when the gun accidentally goes off, and like one of them drops an enormous dumbbell and another one cuts her finger on the ninja star she's like playing with, whatever. And then in the end they get caught doing their heist because Doyeon accidentally like leans on the alarm. And it all ends with them being like lined up in front of the like usual suspects mugshot wall, but it's bright pink. So for the styling and the concept of this, it was like a darker, cool girl styling. Like Doyeon has like a fake lip piercing in the music video. There's one scene where they're all wearing just like matching bomber jackets, and then that sort of classic black top, black shorts, some like combat boots, you know. And then maybe they're wearing like red and black with fishnets and chains. They're looking more Hot Topic accessorized. And the lyrics for this one, they have a crush and it's driving them crazy. They say, I keep seeing you. What do? I want to know you. I want to. When you look at me, my heart pounds. And this was a single album that came with 2 B-sides, True Valentine and Dear Period. And I liked that title convention had a period in it.
Yes. Dear. All right. Next up, on December 20th, 2018, they did a collaboration. The album was called FM 201.8 underscore 12 hertz. The single is
rolls
called,
right off the tongue,
right? The single is called All I Want. So this song was written by Hooktae, Lime, who is a member of Hello Venus, Jinjin and Rocky from Astro, and then Yoojung from Weki Meki, and was produced by someone named Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
And I couldn't find any sales information for this, but it was a 12-track Christmas album of Fantagio family artists. So this main song is Weki Meki, Astro, and Hello Venus. And then the rest of the album has those people and like some other random Fantagio like soloists. So the Weki Meki collabs are like, there's a song called You and Me, which is Ants and Say. Sweet Dream, which is Hers, Analog, and Ellie. Like Today, MJ and Lucy. Your House, Martin Smith and Rena. And then Suyeon and Moonbin have a song called Language.
Mm.
And the music video for this is your standard company Christmas music video. Everyone's wearing sweaters and party dresses and decorating trees and bouncing around holding wrapped presents and just acting silly and Christmas. You know exactly what I mean. And side but important note, Moonbin was so beautiful. His hair is white in this music video and just stunning, breathtaking.
Like a Christmas angel.
Christmas angel. The lyrics to this one are just a romantic Christmas song because if you don't remember, but we've talked about on the show before, Christmas in South Korea is a couple holiday, not a family holiday. So they're remembering, the lyrics are about remembering kissing in the snow and waiting for your love to come home for Christmas because all I want is you for Christmas.
Yeah, of course. The classic sentiment. All right, next up, almost half a year later, May 14th, 2019, we get their second single album called Lock End LOL with the single Picky Picky. This song was written by Leona Lyon, Carl Powell Jr., Cha-kun, Otha Vaccine Davis, G. Blitz, The Colleagues, Gravity, with lyrics by Cha-kun.
It's a lot of people.
It's so many people. Some of there's like, I feel like there's another song. Yeah, there's one other song on this timeline that had like 9 people on it. It's a lot of people. Okay. The single album peaked at number 6 and sold 20,000 copies. And this music video, I think, is super cute. It's very stylized and like kind of cinematic. It feels like it has almost like a Wes Anderson like filter on it. It starts with a title card that introduces each of the members as they are like sitting and kind of just socializing on a school bus. And then it cuts to them dancing on what looks like a school like talent show stage. They've got like big yellow curtains in the background and this Weki Meki high school banner with like a crest behind them. And the whole music video has like maybe more of a plot than some of the others.
There's like something going on. There's like they're getting like lectured by like a principal in an office for something.
They're in science class and they do an experiment that like blows up and ruins the science lab. So then they get in trouble with this white principal who like yells at them, and then they're like cleaning the bathroom. So I'm assuming they had like detention. And then they're like going to different classes and living in the dorm and getting ready for what seems to be like a battle of the bands talent show or whatever. And even though throughout the whole music video, we have seen them dancing on this stage like the idol group they are, the band performance that they're like canonically practicing for, they are playing instruments, and it ends with like Doyeon on the drums, and they're like playing, they have all 8 of them, so it's like an 8-girl band, which is awesome. But anyway, the styling and concept for this was definitely school uniforms, but again, that like hyper reality style of school uniforms. They have one set that is this like gorgeous pale blue, teal, and white that's like very fancy with like sort of blousey, like very private school. And there's a scene where they have like in the dance, they're wearing the outfits with like the flat straw hats.
To me, they remind me, especially because Yoo-jung has a sash on. They look like the mom in Mary Poppins when she's doing her votes for
Mary
women.
Poppins, the suffragettes. Yes. It's very like modern suffragette school uniform kind of vibe. Then they have this bright pink and yellow plaid version, which is more modern, stylized, like with
Like
the
Cher
cuts of everything.
Clueless moment
Yeah,
almost.
and like so like acid bright in your
Yes.
face, whereas the blue and white is like very muted. And then they have a sporty navy and white tennis version as well.
And I love every single outfit in this
They're
music
all
video.
so good.
They're
They're
so
all
good.
so good. They're all great. I honestly really always liked like I loved the way that they were styled in La 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 too. Like I feel like the weird deconstructed like variations of school uniforms, always I thought they looked very cool.
Agreed.
The lyrics for this song, it's really just about, it's very straightforward, listing out what you like and not apologizing for it. The chorus is fully in English of the I'm so picky, picky, picky. But the rest of it says being fun, I like it. Being boring, nope. I like someone warm, someone kind, but interfering with my life like this, and that is too much. So they're just saying like, I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. Have a
Weki,
problem
Meki,
with
I'm
it?
so picky.
Deal with it. So like I said, this was a single album, so it had two B-sides called Whatever You Want and Petal Fortune.
Beautiful. So then in August of 2019, on the 8th, they released their first and only repack to this album, which is called Weekend LOL. And the single to that one is Tiki Taka, parentheses, 99%. So this song was written by JQ, Amelie, Kim Yeon-so, Ming Shun, and Andrew Che, and it peaked at number 7 and sold 9,000 copies. But it was also the Ask Me About K-Pop number 2 song of 2019, which I think
That's
counts
true.
for something.
That's true, it was.
The music video for this one is super cute. Summer vacation times. They're at like an astroturfed RV camp. Super bright colors, pinks, yellows, greens. They're like dancing in the trees, playing on pool floats, water gun fights, making little like smoothie drinks. And then in classic girl group music video fashion, ends with a nighttime party scene in black glittery outfits with sparklers. And like, it's all the vibes. It's all the vibes.
Your perfect summer tune.
The styling was very boho crochet summer, white or cream sort of base to the outfits with blues and yellows and pinks and like lots of, like, yeah, little halters, little tops. And they also wear sandals to dance in the music video, which
Yeah.
feels like kind of a rare thing to see. Like that
Yeah,
they have
the-
flat feet and sandals on.
I was thinking of that too, and it's like more and more twice they did that in sandals too, and it's like it's not common.
Yeah. The lyrics are about how this relationship just needs 1% more. You're perfect to me, baby, except just one thing. Why can't you have courage? We're almost there. We're 99. And like Tiki Taka is like a Korean like saying for like the sound of a ping pong ball going like back and forth. Like it's like it implies like banter and back and forth, like your Tiki Taka.
Oh, cute.
And it
I
comes
like
up in a
that.
lot of songs. Like it had a moment for a couple
Yeah,
of years
almost
as
like a little
popular
Kiki.
slang. Yeah,
That's very adorable.
I know. I love it. And their choreo always slaps, as we've said a million times, but this one is particularly also incredible.
Yeah. It's just so cute. It's so cute. The like little knees and the little like I love a big rondejam.
The big rondejam on that like very bright note that I feel like when we
Yeah.
gave this song number 2 for the year and I couldn't stop talking about it, like this song has like an inherent joy and brightness in it that just like comes through in the melody. And like, I don't know, this song just like feels like happiness. And it's such a great summer song and I'll love it forever.
All right, next up in our timeline is a whole year later. June 18th, 2020, we get their third EP titled Hide and Seek. And we actually had two singles released on this one. The first was a pre-release on February 20th, and that is called Dazzle Dazzle. This song was written by Danke Steinboys and Anna Timgren. It was originally released as the group's first digital single on February 20th, and it marked the return of Yoo-jung after a short hiatus that she took starting October 2019. And it did not chart as a pre-release, but it was later included in this third EP. The music video for this, your note is that it's cheap AF. The whole thing is basically just a bunch of nowhere spaces. One of them is this pink fake stained glass window room that's very small. One is a huge empty teal room that has just like hanging fabric and plants inside. And then there's individual shots of the girls in front of like that rainbow oil slick color, crinkly plastic. And they have a couple different outfits in this, like it's definitely not a school uniform vibe, for like, I guess the first time aside from Tiki Taka, because they were on summer break.
Yeah.
But they have like very different styles and silhouettes for each one of their outfits. And the only thing that matches them together is going to be the color. So there's a pink set, there's a white set, and there's like a bluish, tealish set. And they all have like, one of them, like Rena has like a tube top that's just feathers, and she's wearing like a white lacy glove. And then in another one, I don't know who it is because the shots are so fast, but they have like shorts and then like just a tail of like full sheer fabric behind them. Like it's not a mullet skirt, it's just a tail. And they have like, I don't know, just ruffles and textures and all kinds of different fabrics. So as far as styling and concept goes, I don't even know how to describe this. I want to just call it like a fancy mishmash. I don't know.
I just remember, and I bet you could probably go to the week this came out and listen to whatever episode we had, and I probably complained about it at the end of the show, or maybe I just kept it to the group chat. But I was so mad when this came out.
Yes,
because
I remember
that. Because like I had said up to this point, like I loved every outfit they ever had in the music videos. They always looked so good, and in this music video, they look not good. Like there's an outfit where I actually do think they're all the same. The pink outfits.
Yes.
They have these long sleeve pink shirts with like 3 little like window cutouts at the top, and then like a very ugly sort of plasticky A-line skirt. But the tops do not fit any of them. Like they were not like properly tailored. They're all like kind of baggy in a strange way, or like the shoulders are off kilter. Or like, I don't know. I was just so upset that their outfits like don't look like they were tailored to them at all. Like they were just taken out of a bag and they put them on, and they didn't even try to like pin them and make them look better. And the music video was so cheap looking, and I was just like really upset. I was like, oh no, Weki Meki deserves better than this. And they do. And they did. But I just remember being so pissed at this, being like, oh no, has the downfall started right now? Like,
yeah, I remember thinking that this felt like they were trying to match some of the other like styles that were coming out and stuff, like because I feel like there's so much the coloring and the some of the imagery in the music video, like with the holding of the like huge diamond and the like color palettes and the all the plants inside and stuff. It's like very tropey, but a little too late.
yes.
Like, you know what I mean? And so it feels like Fantasia. It felt like instead of trying to continue to make something that was specifically Weki Meki, this felt more of an attempt to match what other people were doing. And that's a little bit ironic because the lyrics say, if you want me, then impress me. Quote, don't be such a tired cliche, not just ordinary things. Surprise me even more, dazzle me, dazzle me. And I don't think Fantagio did that with this one. But when the EP was actually released in June of that same year, 2020, the single was Oopsie.
Sorry, I just didn't want to turn that one off.
I know, that one's so good. I love it. I feel like everything we just said about Dazzle Dazzle does not apply to Oopsie.
I agree.
100%. We were so disappointed in Dazzle Dazzle, and then Oopsie turned it all around. Out. This song was written by Jung Yoon, Moon Kim, Jerry Potter. I think
that's a good name.
Is that really their name? Now I'm wondering if that's a typo, but I'm the one who wrote that, so I don't know. They are of Yummy Tone, and then Stain Boys. This song, the album itself peaked at number 13, but only sold 16,000 copies. A fucking crime. The music video, very different from the Dazzle Dazzle one. This one, the opening shot is of all the girls sitting in like completely different outfits that are all black, very fancy, sitting on this like huge shadowy CGI looking staircase. And the music video, unlike most of their music videos, is a very beauty focused music video. It's mostly just one shots of the girls looking glamorous in different plain backgrounds with very dramatic lighting, like whether it is shadows across everything but their eyes, or like holding, you know, something to like have a nice reflection or whatever. The whole thing gives CoverGirl campaign. And I think it's gorgeous. And then there is one dance shot where they are all dancing in a plain white room. So it is very like, it's more simple than some of their other like it does still have a lot of cuts, but because what they're cutting to is just them being so beautiful, it doesn't feel as chaotic as some of the other music videos.
Agreed.
But this styling and concept, they're kind of back to a coordinated, deconstructed concept, but we're not going school uniforms. We're going like classy suits.
Classy, yeah.
And so they're going to be color coordinated, like baby blue or teal with white, or else all black. But they all have different styles. Like Lua has like a short sleeve crop top blazer, and like I think one of the Doyeon has like just a huge oversized open blazer, and then some of them just have vests on, and like there's a lot of pants. And it looks it's very mature. It definitely feels more of like a, I would say college girls instead of like high school teens in their uniforms for sure. And this is the start of Lua with her hair short. She cuts it. She starts slicking it back. It looks fucking great. The lyrics are about having a crush and kind of not knowing what to do. It makes you a little bit clumsy and foolish and unsure of yourself. I'm in trouble. Oopsie. What should I do? Oopsie. At a casual remark, the sound of your beating, I'll keep it secret.
I freaking loved this song. So obsessed with it. This was the only choreography I learned in quarantine. And I loved it. And I posted it on my personal Instagram, and people who didn't even like K-pop were like, wow, what a great song. And I was like, yeah, I know.
It is a good song.
It's such a good song. And obviously the choreo is also great. It's great. They really like the dipping down into like the little squat roll on Oopsie is so good. It's just so good.
And I love the percussion of the little like
yes.
Like it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, so good. And then I love it. Every bit of it is so good.
Every bit of it is great. Never get tired of Oopsie.
So more happening in 2020, which I guess we can like talk about later, but it just feels so strange
That was their most active year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like stuck inside. But I feel like we found when we did that horrible mistake of the trying to cover every comeback in 2020, it was like maybe because it was cheaper and but it seemed like every company was like, let's do 3 comebacks this year. And it was like, why though? Like, I guess it's because we had nothing to do. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't
it was
know.
strange.
I don't
Point
know.
is, October 8th, 2020, 4th EP titled New Rules, and the single is Cool.
모두 따라와 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 너를 깨워봐 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 아야야야 좀 더 뜨겁게 감당 안 되게 bring it back
So Cool was written by Lee Ji-eun, Mi-song, Isulan, Eum, Dolly, Zini, Jake K, Eva Dimberg, and Jers Harka.
That's
There's
the one
our
that had
really
9.
long
There it
list.
is.
So this EP went to number 13 on the album chart and sold 12,000 copies, and it did stay in the top 100 for 5 weeks. So this music video feels like possibly their biggest budget. At least it looks it. The main set is this huge, lavish, like feast and fancy one shots, and they have like wine and like and there's like a black void room with a reflective floor when they're dancing in the white jumpsuits, and then there's like a art museum dance box with like cool tough girl mismatching patterns, but like in kind of like 70s color palettes, like orange and army green and stuff.
Yeah.
And that super popular half moon crescent moon pattern that we like in 2019, we were like, why is everyone wearing this?
Why is this everywhere?
And then there's like this incredible shot of all of them on like pedestals under spotlights, and like it is cool. Like
It
the
is very
title is
cool.
reflected in the music video, and the styling same. Like they have all white jumpsuits, like kind of mechanic-y jumpsuits, like with the pockets and stuff.
Yeah.
Full sleeves. And then they also have like beautiful suits, like vests and suit jackets and turtlenecks, like expensive. They like look expensive and
Yes.
grown up. But then there's a very big variety to the stage outfits with like more muted color palettes and a lot of really strong looks, like pants and jackets and drama. And one thing you didn't write down, but like I will never forget about the styling to this, that's at least in the music video, when they're wearing the cool 70s palette stuff, Doyeon is wearing one of those teeny tiny handkerchief tube top, like just the
it's
top
just a
that's
diamond
only a
of fabric
triangle
on
in the
the
front
front. Yeah.
and completely backless. And she's so little, and her like pants are so low, and there's just so much back, and her hair is so like orange
Mermaid
and long and like,
long.
oh my God. It's incredible.
She looks incredible. Incredible.
And then to add to the drama,
Also
Lua's
incredible.
hair is even shorter now. And then she did like green bangs.
Yeah.
So that's also a very strong look.
She looks so good. She's wearing her deconstructed her deconstructed suit is just a vest. Like her top is just a vest. And when she has it with her like slicked hair, I'm just like, oh, she looks like such a like business boss bitch.
I was
Like,
going to say
love
like
it.
gangster, like a scary,
Yeah, like a tough
mob.
like mob boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baddest mob boss on the street. I love it.
So the lyrics to this one are like a hype yourself up song. It says, people's first word when they see me is cool. To make the wind blow through those stubborn thoughts, just take it easy. I do it without hesitation. I'm fearless. The one who must try doing things is me. I'm beautiful. Just as I am. I'm fine. Everybody follow me.
Love it.
And this song also has an English version called 100 Facts, which I don't listen to that much because, as we've discussed before, sometimes the like syncopation of words in English versions is just too hard to get through. But that does exist. And that was cool. And anything else to say about it? Because this was an important comeback. I think this was also,
indeed.
I didn't check the ranking, but this was very high on our 2020 best songs of the year as well.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think we talked about it a lot when it came out as well, because this for sure, this made me, I loved Cool so much. And it honestly made me feel very hopeful for Weki Meki in a
Right.
way that ended up not panning out, because it did feel like the first. It felt not the first, I will say, because this is not to say that their music videos have like historically looked like shit or anything. I don't think that's true.
I think only Dazzle Dazzle really looks like shit, but go on.
Yeah, but my point was that like it felt like but after Dazzle Dazzle, right? This
Right.
came out, and now like, and it's so cool. It's a very different vibe and like kind of feeling to the song without feeling like a completely different group. It felt much more like just graduating and maturing, like, oh, this is going to be what grown Weki Meki is like. And then Fantagio like really didn't keep any of that momentum. And I thought that like the song sounded so different from anything else that people were promoting at the time. I just thought that this could have been a very good turning point for Weki Meki, and it didn't end up being that way. And that's heartbreaking.
I agree.
But it takes us to our next release on the timeline, which comes a whole year later. On November 18th, 2021, they put out their 5th EP titled I Am Me with the single Siesta.
Let's get it, you are my siesta. 눈을 비비고 새로운 boom boom fireworks, boom boom fireworks, siesta.
This song was written by Lee Na-yoon, Jung Ju-yeon, Im Ga-in, Sophia, Anna Timgren, Alon, and Musicality. It went to number 12, the album, 17,000 copies sold, and stayed in the top 100 for 6 consecutive weeks. The music video starts out with this like old film negative frame around it, which doesn't stick around for the whole thing, but it kind of gives this like nostalgic feeling to it. And I do like by the end of it, I was like, how do I describe this feeling? And it does kind of feel like summer turning into fall, that sort of like bittersweetness of like something coming to an end. And you're sad about that, but there's the start of something that is like maybe a little bit exciting and something to look forward to. That's just kind of the general like emotion that comes across in this music video. The girls are alone in different houses looking bored, sad, or wistful. And then they are dancing together in these all white, super ruffly outfits in this big open green field surrounded by trees. And then there is a shot of them because like they're all alone in this house, you know, like feeling their melancholy emotions. And then they like slowly kind of one by one, like start getting together and they like unite in this midnight feast in the forest. They're just like in a forest at a table and then they're like and then as things start, you know, like everything's sad and that because like summer's ending, but then you start to be happy because like, oh, but fall means the start of something new. And then they're like laughing and like looking at the camera and like running across a bridge. I don't know. It's just like we're outside and we're in pretty outfits and we're around and that's the vibe. So there are like all white summer dresses with, in my opinion, too many ruffles. And then there's this like on stage, they also did this kind of like black, white, and jean girly Western look with like denim skirts and maybe a black vest, but like a frilly white blouse or something along those lines. There wasn't really a clear concept to this because I also saw some stages where they were just wearing like what I thought was very cheap looking dresses that just were all black or whatever. And I don't know. I just this to me was like a Dazzle Dazzle release where I thought that ultimately the EP I really enjoyed, but I thought this choice of title song was a mistake because it's so middle of the road. It sounds like things I've heard before. And it didn't have a clear concept or strong Like, it doesn't have a strong narrative. It doesn't have a strong look. And you went from Cool, which was the only thing, like, I couldn't even compare Cool to something else at the very least that came out that year.
Right.
And then you come out with this song that literally everyone has already made before. So that was very disappointing. This title track was disappointing in my
Agreed.
opinion. The lyrics say, you know, oh, life can be boring, but you are refreshing like a siesta. Again, fucking ironic lyrics, because this is a snooze.
Yeah.
The sun hasn't even set yet. This moment that I finally realized, let's get it. You are my siesta. Rub your eyes. It feels new. Boom, boom, fireworks. The brief nap is over. I'm burning up.
I've always thought, like, I'd never paid attention like to the lyrics, and I guess it makes sense of them being like, you're refreshing like a nap. But I've always thought that like the way that they sing siesta and fireworks feels like they should be saying fiesta. Like,
Yeah.
fiesta, boom, boom, fireworks. But they're like singing about
Sure.
nap time. And
But they're
song
saying
so
the nap is
upbeat.
over.
Right.
Wake up.
Sure.
Boom, boom, fireworks.
And the song is so upbeat, but they spend so much of the music video like looking sad and looking asleep. And like, I don't know, I feel like the whole thing just like doesn't work very well.
Yeah, the whole thing missed a note ultimately for me. And I do remember talking about this when it came out, but the B-side for this, which they did perform on music videos, and it is called Who Am I? The EP is called I Am Me. So that makes sense that this would be the one that they should have promoted, but whatever. It's a way stronger song. It like actually it sounded unique. It had that like excellent sort of voguing drag club beat, and like the choreography was really strong. I thought it was awesome, and that should have been the title, but it wasn't.
So this is the part where it gets really upsetting, because we have that like comeback that's kind of meh, and then 3.5 years later we come to this week, June 13th, 2024. Disbandment single. It is called Coincidestiny. So this song was written and composed by leader Suyeon, Rina, Boran, Enzo, MCK of Artifact, and T-Bell. And the music video opens up on Doyeon outside on like a picnic blanket, and she's writing in a notebook, and then she gets a paper airplane, and it says, "Find me here," in like kind of chicken scratchy English. And then shows it to the members, and they break off into little teams of 2 to go like looking for clues in like a public park garden, and they find these little like almost like tarot card looking clues.
And like compasses in trees and like different things.
Big old timey keys and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And they're all in kind of boho denim looks with like white tops and boots, and also some lace, except for Lua, who's wearing a big red tee and a backwards cap like a cartoon character.
Yeah, she looks very adorable.
And the lyrics are very much a goodbye song, and it reads as like a thank you to both the members and the fans. And the lyrics say, "Even unfamiliar moments felt like destiny. Dazzling memories connecting us from yesterday to tomorrow. Coincidestiny, you're my remedy. Always be with me, beautiful youth. Coincidestiny, we were meant to be for eternity." And we were not able to like completely verify all of this, but there has been like a lot of chatter online about all of this. Like, I remember seeing when they announced that the song was coming out, everyone was really excited, and some fans saw Suyeon somewhere and were like, "Oh my God, tell us about the new single. Like, are you guys going on music shows? Like, what are you doing?" And she just like looked at them, and all she could say was, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Like, she just kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." So everyone was like, I know. So then for like a day, everyone was like, "Uh-oh, I think it's a disbandment song." And then it was confirmed that it was a disbandment song. And people are saying, and I don't know if it's just because it looks this way or if it's true, but it feels like it's true that like this was completely spearheaded by the members. Like they took all of the teaser images, they shot the music video on their own phones. They like wrote the song with people that they knew like that Fantagio is not going to help or care about this. And like they took it upon themselves to make a disbandment song because they weren't going to get one otherwise.
Yeah. And I did see like photos of like the girls taking the photos of
Right.
each other that they put on the Instagram. And it is very, that's just so fucking sad. That's so messed up, man.
And to like add insult to injury, for completely unknown reasons, the music video was deleted after it was posted and had already reached 1 million views, and was then re-uploaded seemingly with nothing changed. And now it doesn't even have 200,000 views on it yet.
Yeah. And there's been no explanation or anything.
The fans had gotten it to 1 million, and like it's gonna be hard to get it back there. And like,
yeah,
I don't know. That
I've
just
seen
like
so many campaign like posts of like, please go and rewatch it. Like they took it down, and I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know that we've had this lament before, but like the way that sometimes companies will just give up on a group, like, is so sad.
Yes.
Because they grab these kids when they are kids, and then they take up, you know, so much of their time and effort and energy and hopes and dreams. And
Yes.
then they don't even fulfill their side of the bargain. Fuck you guys. You
Yeah.
hear me, Fantagio? I'm talking to you, bastards.
But yeah, it's just it's so sad, because I really do think that there was like so much potential.
Yeah,
And I know that like all idols are talented or whatever, they wouldn't be there. But like, I really do feel like Weki Meki had like their teamwork as like a unit, like in performance, I feel like was very, very impressive. And that for a
Yes,
group
I
that had
agree.
8 members, while they didn't always have the best line distribution, like it's definitely a group where there were a lot of members. And I wonder if things had been different if there had been less.
Sure.
But I do feel like they all had, none of them feel like extra dead weight, you know, like they were all so good as a unit, and it wasn't like, oh,
Yeah.
that one can't dance, why is she here? Like, I don't know, I feel like they had potential, and I hate that it was unrealized.
I totally agree. I think, especially when I listen to their music on shuffle, there's really only like, of all their songs, there are like 2 skips for me, which is very, very few in general, but also very few for like you know, a girl group of mine. And you know, especially a group that comes from like a smaller company that doesn't necessarily have like the resources that some of the other companies have that could, you know, get them like higher quality songs or music video sets or promotions or whatever.
But
But
then
I
again, I
feel
do
like-
think, I wonder if a part of it is just like the fucking like the misogyny, and that like girl groups aren't profitable, girl groups don't matter. And I'm sure that Arojas would argue with me, but I do think that Astro has gotten a lot more.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So it can't just be like Fantagio doesn't have any money, because they have money for Astro. So like, don't tell me they don't have nothing.
Yeah, and like I know, yes, sure. Astro's promotions aren't perfect either, and I'm sure that you can have a long list of complaints for
Yes.
them.
Just
Are they in any way equivalent to those that were invested in Weki Meki? No. Or even Hello Venus for that matter. And another Fantagio girl group
Yeah.
for anyone listening. Anyway, my what was I gonna say? My point
I'm
was
so sorry to interrupt you.
no, it's okay. My point was that they had, I think, an incredible performance quality. Like you were
Yes.
saying, they had really good teamwork that did make it feel like all 8 members were necessary. I think that that's another like shout out, kudos to the choreography, because the choreography was incredible and fit perfectly with their members. Like it really, like the formations, the transitions, like the levels that it had, like it's just so good, like so dynamic to watch. And I just think, like, I don't know, there are some groups, you know, that are really popular and come from, you know, maybe bigger companies, have a little bit more money in them. And to me, I don't think that the idols or members in that group have the same star power or performance quality that the members of Weki Meki did. Like when you can make your songs really pop off stage in a way where like I Don't Like Your Girlfriend is the song that I think I definitely at the point in my K-pop career or my K-pop
Career,
life
but
as a
yes, I know
fan,
you-
my K-pop
career as a fan.
My career, yeah, my life as a K-pop fan, where I was in my life as a K-pop fan when I Don't Like Your Girlfriend came out. I had very little patience for that type of girl group music, but I
This is
saw
true.
it performed one time, and that was all. It did not matter what the song looked like to me because that performance was untouchable. And I think that kind of quality is rare in groups, like girl groups or boy groups. And it's just a type of magic that you either have it or you don't. And I'm not going to name any names here, but there
Right.
are some groups who top the charts and they don't have that star quality.
Yeah.
Undeniably so, they don't have it. So it's just always heartbreaking when you lose a group of incredibly talented people.
I agree. And I saw a lot of people talking about how specifically it was so insane that they like fumbled Jung and Doyeon so hard as well. And I
Yeah.
think that's like the running theme of all of those, like we said, quote unquote, cursed produce groups, is that IOI was so popular because they were on this show that everyone watched. And so the whole country was attached to these girls. And it should have been a home run to just like put them in other groups and keep the popularity rolling. And like no one was able to do it. And I don't necessarily know why. Like, was it that they didn't want to elevate the popular members? But also, like, in the case of Daya, they said that's exactly what happened. The one member was the only person anyone cared about, so it didn't work. And like, but I don't know. And it's just like such a bummer because like, I don't know. Jung was like the 3rd most popular girl in the whole country for a minute.
Yeah.
And you couldn't make her girl group work. Like, I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't either. But
all I can
I don't
hope,
know.
like it upsets me so much, but like, I don't know. All I can hope is like, because these girls are still like so young. Like Lucy is
True.
only 20, will be 22 this summer. That like, if they want to keep doing this, that they'll like find a way to, or that they are young enough that like, I always wanted to be a school teacher or open a coffee shop, like that they can like do that, they
Sure.
can pivot. Like,
yeah, of course.
don't know.
I'm sure that they will all continue to live wonderfully fulfilling lives.
It's
on
all I can
or
hope.
Off
I
the
just
stage.
hate when dreams
it's
are
just
crushed.
A fucking bummer. It's just a fucking bummer. That's it.
It's just a fucking
here's
bummer.
another goddamn K-pop bummer to add to our list.
The long list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
And
just
the
wanted.
overwhelmingly girl group heavy
I know.
list.
I
Because
know.
of fucking misogyny.
I hate it.
Misogyny.
Yeah, so as always, hashtag support girl groups.
For real, man.
But yeah, I just wanted to like take some time to like honor and celebrate this group that I loved so much.
Mm-hmm.
In order to try to grieve this loss. But we will come back and we will watch something. We haven't decided what, but we're gonna watch a Weki Meki something after this break. All right, we're back. And after a little bit of deliberation, not tough deliberation, because
Like
any
2
choice,
seconds of deliberation.
any choice would have been a good choice. Their most popular music video is Crush. And I didn't double check this, but like a part of me thinks that at some point in the last 6 years, we might have gotten them in the random game and already watched that. And that's fine. But like in this moment, we want to honor Weki Meki with the video that made us love them in the first place. So we're going to watch the I Don't Like Your Girlfriend dance practice together.
Yeah. And I highly, highly encourage and welcome y'all to join us.
Yes, please do. So pull it up if you'd like to. 8.9 million views. Let's give it a couple more. And press play when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, they look
And the camera comes in because a cool trick is about to happen. Oh, pull her up.
Hey!
Awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Also, way to utilize your tallest and smallest members. Incredible formations, just smoothly moving into that. Oh, look at that. From
That's
2
an
diagonals to
incredible
1
diagonal.
which they moved into backwards. And then boom, diagonal line to horizontal to 2 rows. It's just great.
And they do this a lot in this song and other songs where Suyeon like controls their heads with her. She like moves her hands and they all move their heads.
Because she's the leader.
I love that smooth turn down and then doing the same move at different levels. Oh, drop.
Oh, just fall on the ground.
All right, we've split into 2 little groups of 4 for a cool moment.
And that's Lua with her blonde little buns.
Little cosmic, what do they call those? Space buns.
Space
This
buns.
is the best.
Yes. Ugh.
Close it. Oh my
Perfect.
God, it's so
Ugh,
satisfying.
that little arm illusion and then come out to reveal everyone. You could still see Doyeon because Yoo-jung is tiny.
And then we get a little ripple moment.
As we turn into a straight line. Ugh, instantly back to 2. I just love it. They're so smooth. They're so precise. Rena having a little moment.
Yeah, I also feel like, their choreographer is just like so good at finding the cool beats in the song or the like cool syncopations of lyrics to call out with like super sharp moves for each bit of it. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it really emphasizes the beats and like percussion of the song.
Like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so good.
And
Matrix bend.
this, I feel like they use, there it is.
Where they're
gonna
now
slow it
doing the
down.
chorus move at half speed.
Half speed. And it still fits so beautifully. And then boom, regular speed now. I love it. But I also feel like in that breakdown, they do a lot of, like their choreography is very flirty and it is very girly, but in that breakdown they do more like masculine lines and moves, and I feel like their choreo is just very athletic in like a super fun way.
Athletic is a great description. Oh, that was so
Ugh,
good.
I love you, Weki Meki. All right.
Well, this is the point where we would do a weekly recommendation. And this is for sure a recommendation that if you've listened to this episode and you had not previously been familiar with Weki Meki, we would hope that you are also now a little bit in love and a little bit sad. But don't worry, we will send you away with music you can keep forever. So, as the Namu Wiki fans said at the beginning, they are famous for having the best B-sides. And we have quite a long list of B-sides to recommend to you, and we will put them all in a playlist. But also, I mean, we're going to read out some great B-sides, but also they honestly, in total, probably have about 47 songs. So, like, it wouldn't be that hard to just listen to them all anyway.
Yeah, no, it definitely wouldn't. They don't have that many, and they are, like I said at the beginning, like only maybe 2 of their releases are skips for me, and all the rest I do enjoy.
All right, so here is a list of B-sides in chronological order. So from the first album, Neverland, one of my favorite songs of that year, and I went and looked and I was like, did this make it to our B-side list? But in 2018 we only did 1 B-side in our award episode.
Fair
which
enough,
is
fair enough.
crazy.
Yeah. It was a
Because
different
now we
world.
do like 20 each, which is so funny. And then there's also a song on that album called My World.
Yeah, My World is like such a lovely ballad. And I do also like the song. It's called Pretty Boy off of that release. And it's actually credited as an iTeen Girl special or whatever from like their Rookie.
Right.
And it's such an A-Pink song. It's
Yes.
such an, I feel like I can like hear Eunji singing the Soyeon parts or whatever, the Suyeon parts. And it's also very nice.
Then we go to the La 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 album, and we recommend True
Valentine is actually
on
from Kiss Kicks,
Kiss,
which is the
Kicks.
Crush single.
Okay, yes.
Then we're going to La La La.
La La La. We have Metronome and Color Me. And if I'm being honest, if I'm in the right mood, I would put Iron Boy on that too. Which, if I do, means that that's just the whole album, because Lucky is basically just an intro to La La La.
It is.
So then we go to
Weekend and Lock End La La La. LOL, I mean? No. Then we go to... Well, that is the next in the release, but this is from Hide and Seek. No, it's not. We're all out of order.
We're all out of order. Okay, wait. True Valentine and Dear are the 2 B-sides to Crush, and we recommend them both.
Oh, well, there you go.
Then on the Oopsie album, Moya Moya, which was on our B-side list, we did get it on there. We remembered right before we ended the episode, we said, wait a second.
Wait.
We didn't
Neither
get
of
Moya
us
Moya
remembered
in
this
here.
one. Mm-hmm.
So it had to. And then we also recommend The Paradise and Universe, which makes the whole album. So that's the whole EP.
Yep, that is the entire Oopsie EP of Hide and Seek. It's perfect. It's only 5 songs.
Then when we go to the Cool album, we recommend Sweet Dreams and D-Day. And
which all including Cool is 3 of the 4.
And I feel like I
that
had
album.
just us on here,
You
and then
had
I was
it on
like,
there.
we'll take a boring B-side off, but or a ballad off, but you know what? I don't take it off. So
that's the entire
that's
EP
the whole
of that one
thing,
as well.
except for the English version of Cool /100 Facts, but whatever. It's all in there. And then, as you recommended on the show, the B-side to Siesta, Who Am I? As well as One Day from that mini as well.
Yeah. So they're very good.
They're all good.
Very different songs, but very good.
But yeah, honestly, like we'll put these all in a playlist, but in a rare occasion, because there aren't that many songs, the This Is Weki Meki playlist on Spotify pretty much has all of them because they didn't have to make any sacrifices. Because
Yeah, it'll basically be that playlist on out, but we'll put it on ours so that it's with the library and it's easy to find.
yes, no, you're right to do it. But basically our recommendation is like, if you haven't listened to some Weki Meki songs, watch some dance practices, be amazed, mourn, joy, sad, good music, like it's all the feelings, but I do think that it's worth it because it's all fucking good.
I agree. I think it's worth it because the music is good and we will always have the music.
Yes, that is the one. I really wish I could find my like good words right now. Like enduring truth of K-pop
Yes.
is that idols and groups may come and go, whether their groups are disbanded or the idols themselves leave this earth, but the music, we will always have the music.
The music.
And that is good. So thank you for listening to this eulogy for Weki Meki.
Yes, go enjoy their music.
If
because
only
it's
my
very
love
good.
could have saved you,
Ugh.
you would still be here.
You would be here forever if our love was enough.
Yeah. But that is it for this week. Thank you so very much for listening. If you would like to get in contact with us, we can be found at AMA K-Pop Pod on Instagram. You can send us emails at amakpoppod@gmail.com, and we have been getting some really quality emails lately. They have been truly making our lives, and the people who sent them will probably not hear this forever because they like are
Because they're very far
they're
back.
5 years back in the catalog. But when you get here, you know who you are. So please send us emails. They make us happy. You can call us, leave us a voicemail, or send a text message to 181-AMA-KPOP5. You can send us mail at P.O. Box 26096, Los Angeles, California, 90026. You can join our Patreon, patreon.com/AMAKPopPod for bonus content, video and audio, and show participation. I'm going to try to get a video up at some point this week. I'm feeling very, very behind on the K-pop. So I asked some people in the Discord to send me videos they don't think I've watched. And I told them I probably haven't watched any of them. And then I'm going to sit down and try to get caught up.
Nice.
So stuff like that is on the Patreon all the time. You can also go to our linktree/AMAKpop, and that will take you to our YouTube and Spotify playlist where you can watch all the videos we referenced and all the songs that we did, as well as every episode where we have a list of songs. They're all playlisted on our YouTube and our Spotify. And you can join our aforementioned Discord and hang out with listeners who are always doing activities and games and events, and like there's a whole thing happening in there that has nothing to do with us. It was only inspired by us, and I am proud of that, but like it's not me. Y'all do it.
Sure. It is definitely its own. It has grown into its own.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
And you are welcome to be a part of it.
But if you're looking for us in there, we probably won't be there. Send us
I
an
just
email
come in
instead.
there to be like, sorry, can't get an episode out this week. But yes, I think we have like some fun and games coming up, and it's almost time for KCON. I haven't seen much chatter about if anyone's going this year because everything seems kind of complicated. So we'll see about that.
Things are definitely interesting in the KCON lands this year.
So stay tuned for that. But thank you as always for listening. We love you so much. We love you, Weki Meki. Thank you for everything you gave us.
We will love you forever. Doyan, you are always in my fantasy groups. And ladies,
It's true. We did.
you
put
shall be in
members
my
our
heart and
fantasy
mind
groups.
and playlists for all of time.
Indeed.
We salute you.
We salute you. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Jonghyun, you're our inspiration.